G'day friends, it's Vicky Wright, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, Australia. Just bear with me, I seem to have lost, there we go. I was just going to say, I seem to have just lost my, my way a little bit. So today, we're actually doing card number 4 for our, set straight, for our class. I hope that's not too dark. It just looks dark to me, but I think we'll get by. I'm hoping it's not too dark. Okay, so we're on to project number 4, okay? So, this is the card we'll be creating today. A little bit different to what I normally do. I don't usually put DSP on DSP, but I've actually cased this from our catalogue at the back. So let's just see if I can find it. Sometimes I forget that there's samples there and to use them. So that's what I've actually cased it from, that one there. Okay, but of course it looks nothing like it, but that's the beauty, it's a starting point. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring in our kit, and again I've got lots of little bits and pieces that hopefully we won't lose. Okay, put that there so I don't get them mixed up. That's that. Whoops. Speaking of losing, nearly lost the lot. Okay, so I hope you have been crafting along and enjoying the series. If you have any questions or whatever, please let me know. Either comment below or send me an email, okay? And I can try and answer them as much as I can. So what we're going to do is stick this piece of DSP. Actually, what I should have done first was stamped it, but that's okay. Because it's flat, I think we'll get away with it. So stamp your image first, okay, before you put it onto this piece of paper. So I'm just going to grab our ink and block, and we're stamping this large floral image, this one here. This one here we're going to use, okay, and we're going to stamp it straight onto the DSP, and that looks like it's a bit crooked, but it's too late now. Okay, so when I've got a large image like this, what I tend to do is I go around it a little bit, just pat the ink pad over. Don't swish if it's the foam ink pads, but you can do it with the linen ink pads, okay? But I always finish off just by tapping. And then what we're going to do is stamp this image. Just bear with me. I'm stamping it to the left a bit and just down a little bit. And I'm just going to press a little bit harder because it's on DSP. And I want a clear image. Now, I could have, if I had been smart, used my Stamparatus. Okay. So, then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our watercolour pencils again. And we're just quickly going to use, I think, Night and Navy, Balmy Blue, Night and Navy, and Rich Razzleberry. I just got to find it. Flirty Flamingo. I think this is Rich. No. What are these? Coastal, Flirty, Memento. I want that. There it is. Rich Razzleberry. Again, I've taken the colours out of from the DSP to colour my flowers, but you could do any colour you like. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to quickly colour these flowers. I'm just adding colour basically to the bottom of the image because we're going to bring in our blender pen. Okay, now once again I could have used my blends, but our pencils are good for a change, and I love the pencils. They're nice and soft actually. I think that's about all. And we'll do this little one down here too. And then I'm going to bring in the blender pen, and I'm just going to quickly blend out the colour. I could have left that one as it is, but I'll colour that one too. Now, don't waste too much time blending these colours because it's on paper. It may what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Can't think of the word I'm looking for. I can't even think how to describe it now. Sorry. Peel? Is that the word I'm looking for? Okay, so that one's done. Then we're going to do these little ones. In Rich Razzleberry. I'm just randomly colouring. Bring in our blender pen again. I'm not too worried about the depth of colour. All I want is a little bit of colour on the flowers. Okie dokie. Just to add a little bit of background interest. And then we're going to do these little ones in, I think I might do yellow, daffodil to light instead of crushed curry. I could sharpen this too, just to make it a little bit brighter. Make sure your nib's always nice and sharp. And we'll just bring in a blender pen. Just touching it up a little bit. And that's it. I'm not going to worry about our leaves. You can if you want to, but I'm not going to. Okay. So don't forget, you can stamp on our DSP. Okay. That's going to annoy me, but there's nothing I can do. Then what we're going to do is grab this. That's the back of the paper. It's beautiful, isn't it? And we're going to stick this to a piece of basic white. Just with a nice narrow border around it. Actually, it's probably a little bit too narrow. It is too. Okay, so let's fix that up, eh? So all I'm going to do cut down the side. I need you trimmers. Just bear with me, eh? I'm just going to cut this off camera. So I may go a little bit fainty faint. But you'll see it when I get there. And I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okie dokie. So what I've done is I've actually trimmed the white off, the basic white off altogether. And I've made sure that I've trimmed it back so that we're going to get that nice white border. Okay, so let's try it first before we stick it down. That's better. Okay. So if you make a mistake, there's always ways around it, and don't be scared to find alternative ways to your mistakes, although there's never mistakes in card making. There. Then what we're going to do, grab our base card, which is Crushed Curry. It's a colour that I don't use very often, and I should use it more because I quite like the result that Crushed Curry gives. And we're just going to stick that to here. Just like that. Okay, so that's nearly done. So now, the tricky part. Now, I will be honest and say I'm no good at stamping some sentiments. And I'm afraid this sentiment that we're going to use has already beaten me at the post. I know it's all in my head, but so as you can see, I'm ready because I've got spares. So we're going to use Starry Sky ink pad, and we're actually going to be using that one there, Sending Love During This Season of Growth. Okay, so we'll bring in our stamp and we'll just gently ink that up. I don't know what it is, but I just can't seem to stamp this straight. Drives me balmy. See what I'm doing? I'm making, I just seem to be, I should be using the Stamparatus again. This doesn't work, we might be using the Stamparatus. Okay. That's pretty good. I just put that aside. So I only wasted one piece, so that's pretty good. Then what we're going to do, wasn't so painful after all, was it? We're just going to shape this. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just like that. Okay, and we're going to pop this up onto dimensionals. Take the sticky lids off. Bring in our card, and I'm just going to pop it towards the bottom so that it's nice and straight, making sure I don't press down until I know it's actually straight, and then press down just to seal it. Okay, so then what I've done is I've again die cut a heap of flowers. So we've got 4 of the full flowers and 2 of the half flowers. Okay, so that's that. Then we're going to grab our glue again, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue in 2 of the full flowers and 1 of the half. And hope that I don't muck this up like last week. I just couldn't get it together, for some reason. Like I'm doing now. What am I doing wrong? Just bear with me. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's try this one. It's not perfect, but that'll do. And then we'll do this one. Sometimes I think we have it in our head before we even start, and we're defeated before we start. That's better. Let's see if we can pull this one apart, eh? God, I don't know what I've done there. I'm really making a mess of this. That's better. There you are. Then we're going to do the same with this one. Just like that. That's probably taken longer than the whole card. Then I've die cut some of the centres with crushed curry. And we're going to do those now. Okay, so what we're going to do is put a little bit of glue. Now if you didn't want to use the glue, you could easily use a mini glue dot if you wanted to. But we're just going to use the glue. I love our Tombow. I think it's great. And just one little biscuits, as I call them, down there like that. Okay, so we'll just get those out of the way. And what we're going to do is use mini dimensionals, but of course my order hasn't arrived yet, so I'm just using the, I think they're the foam adhesive sheets, that's what they are. So I'm just going to cut a little bit. 1, 2, 3. I'm in here, Belle. Sorry, Belle's out there a little bit lost, I think. I don't know why I say that, but they say that deaf dogs can feel you speaking to them. So I don't know how true it is, but she seems to respond sometimes. So, okay, so that's what we've done here. Just taking the sticky backs off. That one's off. Excuse me. Just put all that out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to just stick these on our card. Okay, so we'll just put one there. Sticky little devils. Put one up here. And we'll just put one right there, I think. And this is our card nearly finished. Then what we're going to do is bring in our enamel dots, essentials, and we're just going to finish it off with a couple of night and navy. Okay, and as I said, these are really sticky, so we'll put one about there. Sticky little devils. One there. I'll put a tiny little one just underneath. And stick it down once you're happy with where you've placed them. Now, just a tip, if you had just plain DSP or even cardstock and you wanted the little droplets, I suppose, over it, just get one of our Stampin' Right markers. I won't do it, I'll show you. And all you need to do is grab the brush hand and just put the tip of it right in the cap and very gently, so as not to ruin the cap or the nib, flick. Okay, and I don't know whether you can see it or not, but you will have splots over it, and just move it about your card. Okie dokie. So then all we've got left to do is our envelope and the inside of our card. Or if you had watercolour paper, you could also do flick it with the water painters too. Just the ink from our ink pad or our refills. Remembering to let it dry though. So that's that envelope. Then, have I got a piece of cardstock? Yep. That was lucky. And we'll just put that down this side. Now, I will be honest and say I wasn't keen on this colour combination when I did the card, but it's quite grown on me, and I think it's because the flowers pop. It's different to what I normally create with, but it's good to get out of your comfort zone, so give it a go. You might surprise yourself. Okay. And we'll just put that there, just like that. There you go. So that's our card for today, number 4 project for today. That's the original and that's today's. Okay, so enjoy your crafting this week, and I will, because it's it's a month with 5 Saturdays, I'll be back next week with an additional card for you. Okay, so have a great week, everyone. Thank you. See ya.